All right, so here's an update on the aged mouse muscle study. So in the previous presentation, we measured the pure shape of these muscle fiber cross sections and found evidence of 6 subtypes in the control group and also 6 subtypes in the amibagrin treated group. And in this presentation, we wanted to validate whether these subtypes were different based on biologically relevant features, such as area. So what we did was we isolated the samples in each of these 6 categories, and we just compared their average perimeter and area. And I first want to say that when you measure area and perimeter between controlled versus amibagrin altogether, there's very little difference. That is, there's no evidence suggesting that there may be subtypes. But first, what we did was we wanted to validate the 3-cluster classification system, that is, comparing just these 3 clusters to each other. And when we did so, we found that with area, only clusters 0 and 1 showed statistical significance. But when it came to perimeter, there was a lot of statistical significance between these 3 clusters, okay, for control and amibagrin. And this makes sense because when we consider the shape of the muscle fiber cross sections, the complexity of the muscle fiber is actually in how jagged the edge is. And so more jagged edges would affect perimeter more than it would affect area. But we wanted to go further because we found evidence through PCA here that there might be 6 subtypes, that is 2 in each of the 3. So we wanted to see if we could validate the existence of these 6 subtypes using something other than what was measured in ShapeGenie. Just as a reminder, here are the middle 5 samples from each of the 6 subtypes. First, let's look at measures of area. As you can see here, there are major statistical differences between the area of, this is the bottom portion, this is the top portion, in the middle is the middle cluster, okay, this is the left cluster, this is the middle cluster. Again, the bottom has a smaller area on average compared to the upper sector, okay, and then with amibagrin, you see the same patterns persist. The effect of amibagrin seems to be to reduce the difference between these averages, right? So it seems that in natural aging or normal aging, right, these 2 subtypes, I guess, grow further apart in terms of the area, but the effect of amibagrin is to reduce that. Now let's look at perimeter. So in perimeter, again, we see major differences between, okay, the bottom and top sectors of the left cluster, same for the middle cluster, all right, and amibagrin again shows those same trends between bottom and top, but again, the averages, the difference between the averages are smaller, suggesting that amibagrin is preventing the differentiation, right, of one subgroup away from the other, which has implications on its healing or anti-aging effects. In conclusion, measuring pure shape in ShapeGenie reviews 6 subtypes of muscle fiber morphology. These subtypes are validated by their differences in area and perimeter. Secondly, amibagrin treatment reduces the difference that occurs in normal aging in the area and perimeter fibers in sister subtypes. When we say sister subtypes, we mean left bottom versus left top, okay, in the k-means clusters. And lastly, ShapeGenie unlocks morphological insights that traditional methods cannot. And it does so in a way that is interpretable, meaning we know exactly what we outlined and why, right? So when we measure it and we get the results, we know exactly what the numbers represent.